All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
What's going on, everybody? It is Real Talk, and we got Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. I think we're almost about used to it at this point. I will tell y'all that whatever technology that they got pushing this out is good. My iPad and phone stream at like the same rate. Like there's no delay, no matter what screen. Oh, TV device, it's all at the same time. Like it's pretty cool.
Well, so it better be for all that money they paying.
And the fact the games that they got on Thursday night, that just lets me know how much more money they paid. Because they ain't giving them the London games with Jacksonville versus Carolina. They giving them good games on Thursday.
So God, man. God, don't waste no time. Right to it.
What did Jacksonville, Carolina do to you?
Any of my friends in Jacksonville that are watching, please do not send hate mail to ASAP Network for Ray Bond.
Y'all know they used to throw Jacksonville in the London games all the time. Today it'd be a good game, but back then, not so much. With that being said, gentlemen, we are here to do the right thing, unlike Mr. Brett Favre. I am very happy that social media is keeping this story alive because it seems like most mainstream media refuses to still do their job the way it should be done. The way Vince Young's crab legs was covered, the way Michael Vick's dog fighting case was covered. I want that coverage. And I haven't seen a small morsel of that. So my question for you guys is there's different things populating. I saw something that said there's calls to remove him from the Hall of Fame. You got some extreme stuff out there. What do you guys think is a reasonable response from the NFL in relation to the Brett Favre? As I don't believe the league office has said anything to this point. I'll start with you, Kenny.
I guess, well, I think they're really, because this is still in the, innocent until proven guilty type of situation where they, you don't want to be jumped too far ahead. I'm just talking maybe on the league's perspective as to why they haven't said anything. But for me, I've already said, like Brett Finesse Favre, he is Lord Finesse. He's taking the title as the king of the finesse. Like this is the lowest of the low, man. So I just hope I hope once everything has come out and all of the truth comes out, that he gets punished to the fullest extent. Because I want that same energy that they give to when people quote unquote defraud the government or take advantage of the government's money. They want them prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. So I want the same energy. I want that same justice. So that whatever he tried to do, if it's proven that he did it, then I want him punished to the fullest extent of the law.
I respect it. Dad, what you got?
Man, Brett Favre most definitely should be punished to the full extent, man. If he walks away with a slap in the wrist or anything other than jail time and anything in that nature, man, we already know what that's about. There ain't no reason to try to really say it, man, because there's no way that you can siphon welfare money and and Mississippi is hurting down there with water. They are hurting, but you can go ahead and build the new volleyball stadium and they is hurting with water. Like, come on, man. It's like What governor was like, yeah, Brett, you know what, man, we gonna go ahead and give you what you want, man. We ain't hurting. Food, the inflation is not hurting Jackson, Mississippi. Tragic weather is not hurting Mississippi and none of that stuff. So don't worry about nothing that's going on down here that's hurting Mississippi. You go ahead and we're gonna front you this money, even though you made 130 mil throughout your whole career in the NFL. Even though you made like 110 mil with your Wrangler jeans and all your other commercials that you did, but you still need money from the less fortunate. Like that, it just don't make sense. So my man, most definitely, if he don't get punished, I don't really know what to say no more. It's like Michael Vick time should be expunged. It should be erased from history and everything else, man. I hope he don't get away with this. He better not get away with this.
But what would that look like to you? What does not getting away with it look like to you, Dev?
If they just let this, because it seems like it's not really surfacing the top layer. Like it's not surfacing the news like it's supposed to. Because when Michael Vick got caught, or as soon as Michael Vick's name was into that dog, Good Morning America was into it. Politician channels was all into Michael Vick. It was like, y'all talking about all this, like, and Brett Favre is barely making a surface. If it's not us talking about it or people that really kind of hitting home to it, it's not really surfacing, and that sucks. Like, people in Mississippi is hurt.
I just watched a man lose a year and over a half of his football career over allegations, and he got an $8 million fine.
Calvin Ridley betting on his team to win, and he lost the whole year.
I look at what they're doing with baseball right now, and they are begging for Aaron Judge to do this so that they can have a clean home run champion, a Yankee, all of it. And I think a lot of what we're seeing here is just the media likes what they like. They changed the vaccine laws in the state a lot from what we believe to be because of Aaron Judge. And now he's paid that back. And Brett Favre just keeps skating. I think he's losing a little stuff, but it's not publicized. So that leads me to my next question. Because I have heard sponsors pulling out, endorsements kind of slowing down, putting things on pause.
This radio spots and shows, all that stuff, they pull back on them as well.
Kenny, I'll start with you and Deb, I'll follow up. Do you feel that's enough? That if he suffers maybe severe punishment, but it's private, is that sufficient?
No. This is public funds, so I need public humiliation. Yeah, no, we're not sweeping this under the rug. We're not doing this behind closed doors. You use government money. You use public funds that are allocated for the public, for the people. So no, we're not doing that. No, not doing that.
Dev?
I'm with Kenny, man. This don't try to close it behind his door. Don't try to slap him on the wrist and say, "Hey, man, it's over with. You okay?" No. The same way the same energy how I felt about Michael Parsons on the last show, and I said the same way he didn't show up to the show, don't show up to his interview now. And that's how I'm feeling. The same way, you know what I mean? Don't try to put it behind closed doors. Leave it. Let it be open. Let everybody know what he's about to walk through. The same way they did Michael Vick. We knew Michael Vick punishment from the time it started to the time it ended.
I even look at this breaking about the same time as Udoka breaking. And they still talking about
it. Tried to hide it underneath of that Udoka break, man.
And the two of those things in terms of the level of I don't know, a level of integrity or character, like it's no comparison between those two.
None at all. None at all. Like if they would have took from like the police fund or something, I might not have been as upset. But
police can't get paid now,
right? Are you on the defund the police thing? You
hey,
on that type of time?
I think at bare minimum they should be the ones that got to pay the lawsuits. That shouldn't come out of taxpayers' dollars. Like at minimum,
restitution. You know they have the same way they got restitution. Nah, this man get all that retirement money, all of that endorsement money, and pay that money back. Come out to the pocket.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That would be fair. I would say with interest.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Some kind of criminal prosecution.
Court costs, all of that.
I'm sure somewhere this is pretty illegal. I'm not smart enough to know how, but to your point, the defrauding of the government, they already said they're ramping up the PPP loans. So if you're going to ramp it up, people kill it.
Same thing.
You're going to go get them. Go get them.
Get them all.
Just swoop him up and your little new group of people you done hired to go get people. Good luck catching.
My man about to go from a yellow, we about to go from a gold jacket to an orange jumpsuit.
That fast.
Comes at you fast.
But we do have a game on, as discussed earlier, and it's 7-6. I think definitely lower scoring than I think most of us were anticipating. But with that being said, Cincinnati is up 7-6. They have the ball, and they are kind of deep in their own possession, 3rd and 5. Joe Burrow drops back, and it's not looking great, and it's an incomplete. Oh, that means we're all watching probably at the same time, too, if it's going away.
Something like that.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
That was all right. But who y'all got? Give me Cincy. I picked Cincy to win the division, so I really need Cincy to get going. I like Miami to be completely honest, but I need Cincy to get going. So give me Cincy tonight, and they're gonna figure it out. Deb, who you got?
I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I really don't believe in, but it seems like they got this Cinderella slipper on right now. So, and Cincinnati ain't showing me nothing all year. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take the gamble and take Miami.
Okay.
Stay undefeated.
Miami at 4-0. And Miami at 4-0 means what for Miami?
They at 4-0. I told you I'm not a true believer yet in them. So they just 4-0 I'm not a true believer yet.
What would they have to do to prove to you that they're legit? You saw what they did to y'all. You saw firsthand what they're capable of. So
but can they do it all year? Can they do it all year? You know what I mean? Keep playing the comeback kings ain't gonna be too good for you down at the end of the stretch. You know what I mean? You might want to start catching games early, but being down 21, that's not always gonna work out in your favor. You ain't gonna play Baltimore every week.
Let me just run this off real quick. They would have started the year beating the Patriots, Ravens, Bills, and Bengals. And you said
That's
they
impressive.
just 4-0.
No, that's impressive. But to be fair though, that's only the first half. That's the first quarter of the season. This is a marathon.
Yeah, but after that it goes Jets, Dolphins, Steelers, Lions, Bears. Like,
the Dolphins play themselves. Well, they most definitely gonna win that game.
What I say?
You said Jets, Dolphins. That's what I say. Yeah. Well, they play themselves. They gonna win that game.
Sunday night they play the Steelers.
Okay.
So they basically play themselves. But
damn,
there it is.
They end the year kind of tough, But if they get out of this 4-0, they're gonna be in that 8-3 seat or something of that sort, and we gotta shut up about Tua and anybody else at that point. As far as I'm concerned, I still don't like it.
Now, quick question though. Quick question. Do we have to shut up about Tua in the regular season, or is this gonna? We gotta wait to see how he is in the postseason too before we can shut up completely. Because you know
he paid this offseason, right? So he's up.
No, he's still on his rookie deal.
Yeah, he's still on his rookie deal.
What, this is his third year?
This is third year, I believe.
Yeah.
So they didn't pick up his 5th-year option then, because you got to decide that this year, didn't they?
I think it's after this year that they have to decide. Because he'll be going into his final year. So they got to decide after this year whether or not they're going to pick up that 5th year. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they got a decision to make. So I think this is huge. If he's 8-3,
No.
you in that Kyler Murray territory, you got to pay him.
What if Tua only get to the first round of playoffs and get put out?
I think that would be okay because that would be a step in the right direction.
And that division, that conference,
yeah.
Oh, it looked bad.
Yeah, that could have been ugly.
I didn't see that live.
Yeah, rolling up under his leg like that.
Especially with his brittle body. So hope for the best. That looked a little nasty. Get up, Tua. He's turning me into a fan. I wasn't a Tua fan, but he's making me a believer.
I'm still not a fan yet.
Well, I'm left-handed, so I'm automatically a Tua fan.
Nah, jeez.
Got to roll with the lefties.
I understand. Well, all right. And Kenny, who you got?
Oh, I didn't pick, but I'm with you. I think Cincinnati needs this game more than Miami, and then Miami's also due for a dud. They've kind of been to Dev's point. They've been having the glass slipper, and they kind of caught a lot of breaks in these first 3 weeks. So I think it's their time to kind of come back down to earth, and I think Cincinnati really needs this game to get on track. So that's why I got Cincinnati.
I do hope you are right.
So you can't take that set.
Yeah. He's done. That's 2 weeks in a row. He just got his head slammed. They ain't letting him play.
He shouldn't have played. He shouldn't have played last week, boy. That man looked like he was in that Floyd fight. The way he got up.
If Tua stats are available, bet the unders immediately. He's not going to play the rest of this game. Oh, man.
Who they back? I thought they got Bridgewater's that back, all right?
I went to the draft game. They already closed all the Tua bets.
Of course.
Just that bet.
Of course.
I was fast, but they were faster.
They saw the money. They saw the money coming and going.
I can't be mad at them at all. So we got to get to our picks, ladies and gentlemen out there watching, tune in. Feel free to comment your picks for the games. We got a lot of games to get to. It's pretty compelling weekend. There was a couple I left off that we probably could have picked just because I think they'll be competitive. But we are going to start with Minnesota at New Orleans. And I will start with going with the Vikes. Jameis Winston has proven to me Sean Payton needs a raise because I don't recognize this guy. And that team is talented enough that I think they should be better. And I saw what the Vikes did without Justin Jefferson having a great game and Madison seemingly being able to step in. I think they can get it done. Dev, who you got?
I got the Vikings. I wish I could retract my statement of putting the Saints in the Super Bowl because that 30 from 30 Winston is starting to show up now. I was just like, dang, he was like the last key piece, and then he messed the church's money up. So
Messed it up.
I'm getting off the choo-choo bandwagon. I can tell you that now. I'm calling for the next stop. I can no longer have James Winston as my I can't have James Winston as my conductor no more, man. So I'd rather take Kirk Cousins. So I'm going with the Vikings over this one.
See, I'm going against the grain.
Yeah.
Now you know why? Because every time I count on Kirk Cousins, he lets me down. So I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. So
you going for 30 for 30?
Yeah, the lesser two evils. Because I don't have confidence in either one of them, to be honest with you. But I think that Jameis can right the ship. I'm hoping, and really just I think whenever Jameis tries to do too much, or whenever he starts to press, that's when he starts turning the ball over.
Yeah,
when he just plays within the confines of the offense, then he's good. But as soon as he starts pressing and trying too hard to make a play, that's when he winds up turning the ball over. And so I'm hoping that this is going to be the week that he gets it right and that he figures it out. And I'm going with the Saints.
So if he don't get it right this week, you're going to be on the next stop behind me, right?
I'm right. Yeah, I'm the next stop. I'm on the next stop. I'm giving him one more week.
Dang. I ain't giving him.
And just like that, the Tua train is derailed.
Man.
Woo, woo. Time for Teddy Bridgewater.
See that big money we were just talking about. Goodbye.
You know what's crazy though? What's crazy? I was reading this article and Ryan Fitzpatrick came out and said that Tua is not the quarterback of the future only because he cannot complete games. And now it just now being shown that
right on cue.
It's like wow.
But though, to be fair though, that injuries, man, you can't, especially in football, like you can't. That's the one thing that you can't account for. Like it can happen at any point in time.
Nah, John, they're not doing that to Sean. They did that to that little pinata.
They seen the game last week. They was like, "It's no way he's gonna take any more hits like that." So let's go ahead.
He's like,
oh, man.
Like I wasn't wishing nothing like that, but it's just that's keep it a buck. We all been inside these locker rooms when they was like, "Look, man, he's a little soft, y'all. Yeah, we can get our hands on him. We can rough him up a little bit." And I'm pretty sure Cincinnati was like, "We seen that game last week. He'll lose noodle right now." So let's get at them.
Part two to that. Not only would no one slam Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, anyone like that, if they tried, I guarantee they wouldn't still be on the ground getting carted off the field.
Oh.
I don't know if this is the right profession for this young man.
Yeah,
like that's a bad.
That's shot. A concussion. He is throwing up signs.
Hey yo, see, yo,
like that is.
You gotta stop, man.
Like I'm not trying to make fun. Like if the Dolphins try to, because you see how the Dolphins were trying to cover it up. The Dolphins were trying to cover it up last week, talking about, oh, he's fine, and y'all seen how wildly he was getting back to the huddle. Now this time, my man is not even. No, it's. Nah, Dolphins better not try to cover this one up. You can't cover this one up, Dolphins. You can't. You just can't cover this one up.
Speaking in silence, we say, don't cover
it. And he's still on that.
Oh, Jesus. But in all sense, like, I just don't know.
Hey Ray, I can tell you right now, man, we getting some hate mail from Florida. You getting Jacksonville, and I'm getting Miami.
Straight up. Y'all better not ever pull up on South Beach. It's on site.
I ain't going back down Florida. I'm at the where the skies when I go down Florida.
But and this actually just popped up in my group chat, and Dev, you alluded to it. If they go back and somehow do an investigation, and his brain scans from the last week was not good, and he wasn't in concussion protocol, and they ain't follow the right steps, that looks bad.
That's why I was saying. That's what I was saying. The Dolphins can't cover this one up. They can't cover this one up this time.
And
because they was petty for last week for throwing him back out there like that. They was like, "Hey man, you are quarterback."
And obviously you can't figure that would happen, but man, all jokes aside, like prayers to it. That didn't.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You know, like I said, I ain't never want to make fun of somebody like that, but Dolphins, you can't drop the ball on this.
Yeah.
And then wasn't he also dealing with the back injury too?
He had the back, and wasn't it?
They said it was the back, not his head.
Right. See, and that's why I was saying it can't get this one wrong this time. But they're gonna say, "Oh no, it's his elbow this time, guys."
Well, Teddy Two Gloves coming in, completing passes. So, next man up.
And that would be the worst part when you in fantasy or even in DraftKings and stuff. Backups come in, they got rapport with all the people you don't have. So he gonna whoever that guy, he about to get 10 targets, and Tyreek gonna get
all the threes and all the 3s and 4s. All them guys gonna eat. Ask Noah Brown, the Cowboys.
Yeah, we were watching it.
Oh yeah,
Noah Brown gonna fool around. Let Cooper Rush stand there. Noah Brown gonna get paid.
Nolan Brown gonna wind up being 1,000-yard receiver before Dak get back. Watch
that one. Wow.
That kick was terrible. That had to get.
No, they blocked it. They blocked it.
Okay. I don't have my sound.
Yeah,
on, but it looked.
Yeah, they blocked it.
But yeah, back to the games. Back to the games. So we got me and Kenny on Bites. Oh no, me and Dev on Bites.
No. Y'all, yeah, I got noise.
And then next we got Cleveland at Atlanta. Dev, who you got?
You can just tell by my face about this game, man. This game was this is like a porta potty game.
Straight up.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Falcons. I don't have no legit reason.
At least you honest.
You know, I mean, I don't know what's going on down in Atlanta, and the Browns. No Myles Garrett this week. That's the only good thing I can say about for Atlanta. So at least they ain't gotta
be out. I just know they discharged him from the hospital.
I believe they said they was waiting to get closer to the week, pretty much, to figure out because he only got like some bumps and bruises from that car accident.
Did you see that car?
Yeah,
I didn't.
A picture of it. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, the picture was the car was in bad shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to I take ATL as my underdog this week.
I'm going Cleveland total selfishly because I got Nick Chubb in fantasy.
So you pretty much ain't had no reason either.
just so Nick Chubb can snap, help my fantasy team. I got big play.
That T. Higgins?
Big play. That's T. Higgins. T. Higgins. Gritty on him. Yeah, so but I guess I'll break it down a little bit. I'm just not sure offensively. I'm not a big believer in Mariota. I think he's more of a game manager than he is a legitimate starting quarterback. So although they do have some weapons there, I love Cordero Patterson. That guy is a baller. Like you could just put him anywhere on the field and he'll make plays. But Kyle Pitts hasn't really gotten off and hasn't been as productive this season.
It's triple team this year. That's
yeah,
why.
Yeah. So I'm just not sure outside in terms of besides Cordero Patterson, who is really going to strike fear into defenses, into secondaries. So I just think that Cleveland has more offensive firepower, and then it's the same thing with is it Tyrod? Not Tyrod Taylor. Who's Brissett? Jacoby Brissett. It's the same thing with him as with Jameis Winston. Just take care of the ball. As long as you take care of the ball, you got enough weapons to be productive. So I'm going with Cleveland.
Okay. I am also going with Cleveland. I think offense and defense, they're a little bit better. I need to see more out of Kyle Pitts and that offense with Mariota. It's just not really getting going. They got going a little bit last. For the first time, I got Pitts in like 2 leagues. So that's not looking great.
He's sitting on my bench in my church league. This guy's killing me.
It's tough. I'm trying to ride it out, but I just think Cleveland's a more complete team. I thought that to start the year, and I think that now. So I think they'll be able to run the ball, dominate time of possession, probably get a turnover. I think definitely probably get a turnover. So that's where I'm gonna go with that. So we got Cleveland. Next game, we get to it. We'll get Dev out the way. Washington, Dallas. Dev, talk to us.
Another game, man. Golly. Jeez. You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna go ahead and slide to the Cowboys. I'm gonna slide to the Cowboys. Ray, if y'all had anybody else other than Carson Wentz, I'd have rolled with y'all. It's just Carson Wentz is just so inconsistent, man. It's like y'all. It's almost time. I don't even like the guy, but I think it's time for Tyler Heineke to go ahead and see what he can do, because Carson Wentz is costing y'all some games, man. It's just golly, and I like Cooper Rush better than Carson Wentz right now. Because Cooper Rush, as long as what's the guy named Brown? As long as Brown is playing, as long as he's playing, Cooper Rush is going to have an outstanding game. So I'm gonna have to ride with the Cowboys. Sorry, Ray. It's just because of Carson Wentz. Ain't get with him.
All right. Well, I understand.
You ought to have Jimmy G. Oh, never mind. He step out of bounds. Never mind.
There you go.
Shout out Dan Orlovsky. He would be proud.
Obviously, I'm a Commanders fan through and through.
Make sure I got both of my ears on for this one.
Hey, no, I'm gonna let you finish. But I got a question after you finish.
But it is so hard to bet on Carson Wentz. Man, it's so hard. And when y'all best player is the exact opposite of my most questionable player, I gotta go with Dallas.
Oh, what? That's exactly why I had both of my earphones on for this one. I
just don't. I think you'll screw it up.
Wait. Is the season over? Is that what you're saying? Are you done? Are you already giving up on your team?
I didn't pick us to go to the playoffs. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I knew he was bad and like inconsistent. Like,
dang.
You said it for yourself up close and personal, huh?
Man, it's so hard to watch as a fan, and it's been like that for years. I feel like we've been a
Ray, I
quarterback
can't believe.
for a long time. We've had a group of talent come through at skill positions. We were just always a quarterback away. And this is by far the most talented one we've had. But he's just not that good.
Hey, Ray, can you just say who you picking again one more time, man?
Please.
You good. You good. Y'all heard it.
Please.
It's on there.
Please.
Oh, man. Like, I was for
That-
sure.
Hey,
When I seen that list of games, when I seen the list that came up, I said, yeah, they're going to be going back and forth. I am instigating. I'm stepping in the middle. I'm hyping both sides up. I'm and you just went completely left. Like,
you was ready to gas it all the way.
You messed up my whole plan, dog. Like, bro, I can't believe you. You didn't crossed over to the bad side.
Step into the bad side, Jimmy Early.
I just gotta say what I see, man. Gotta say what I see.
Wow.
Just for giggles.
And you know what's going? Kenny, I already know who you picking. I already know who you picking.
Let's move on. We already know what it is. There's no need to belabor the.
And you know what's going to suck though? Carson Wentz going to come out here and throw 400 yards, man. Watch, man, because none of us believe in this guy.
He was like top 5 in passing yards. So you know what I did? I bet on him last week. He had like 40 yards at halftime. It was awful. How are you top 5 in passing yards? You put up 40 and a half. Like,
Ray, I know what you was having, my man. I know what you was having. You was most definitely having.
Well, listen, Ray. Ray, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna really enjoy this Sunday. You know, one of my closest friends, my boy Joe Levette, he's in the same boat as you. He's a Washington fan, and I'm going to his house just to torture him for 4 quarters. So I'll be thinking of you as I'm messing with him.
I can only hope that Cooper Rush just is worse. But I already know what Carson is. Like, you know.
Well, keeping it a buck, he's due for a dud. So it ain't out the realm of it's not. It can happen.
Eddie, get rid of it.
Sure. It can happen.
Yes, indeed. So next game, we got a pair of 2-1 teams. Who saw this coming? The Bears and the Giants, both sitting at 2-1. Kenny, who you got?
That's a really that's an interesting matchup because, to your point, no one saw these two teams being 2-1 at this point in the season. So I'm going to go with the same thing where I was talking about in this game that's going on right now. I think the Giants need this game a little more than Chicago. I think it's all gravy right now at this point for the Bears. Nobody really expected them to be any good. They thought this was going to be a really bad team. And the fact that they're 2-1 out of the gate, I think this is all down. It's all downhill from here. So I think the Giants still have a lot of questions. That they're coming off a bad loss. Losing to my Cowboys and to the backup, to Cooper Rush and the crew. So I think that they need this game more, and as a result, I think they're going to come out with their hair on fire, and they're going to try to take it out on, take their frustration out on the Bears. So I'm going to pick the Giants.
Okay, did not entirely see that coming. Although you are from where, Kenny?
I'm from New York, and my wife is a Giants fan, so
that's an interesting household.
It is. It's pretty funny, especially last week. It was wonderful for me. Not for her, not so much.
I understand. Dave, who you got?
I'm gonna take the Bears. I think losing Sterling Shepard for the Giants was a key loss. Daniel Jones already didn't have nobody to really throw it to. He ain't even had time to really throw it. Now he don't got nobody to really throw it to. Now since Shepard is going to be down, I think Justin Fields is going to come out. Like y'all said about the last game, I think this is the game he really needs. At least keep the Bears relevant in that division. You want to stay close to the Packers as you possibly can, because if the Packers find a way to find something in these receivers and take off, then it's going to be Packers winning that division again. So you at least want to stay a little bit as close as possibly you can. And like I said, I don't think the Giants have no more left in them after that loss from them on what was that, Monday night?
That took it out of them. That was it.
Yeah,
that was it. They was like, Cooper Rush? No way. Danny Dimes better than him. Danny Dimes got punished.
Now I'm gonna go with y'all. I'm just not a Giants believer. I'm not a Danny Dimes believer. I don't know how they're 2-1. I don't know how they're really competitive. Again, Saquon needs a raise, but yeah, I just
he got to stay healthy too, though. To be fair,
yeah,
he does.
He's got to
But I
prove
think
it over the full season.
I think you're seeing what he's capable of. So
Oh yeah, no question.
I think David Montgomery's out. That's an issue
I
for
think
me.
you're right.
But I'm still going to ride with him. Just quick update. We might have a quarterback controversy brewing here in Miami.
Teddy Two Gloves is dealing.
Teddy's doing what Teddy does. Teddy's probably like a top 5 back. Like, not just
I told you what Ryan Fitzpatrick said, man. Tua can't finish. So, you know who can finish?
And listen, here's the other thing, too. He's a local guy. He's from Miami. So you know that the city going to ride for him.
Yeah. He locked up. Put some fronts in. Be all right.
Get the wick dreads and all that, huh?
Little shovel pass.
Nice play call.
Touchdown. Yes, sir.
Touchdown.
Yes, sir.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Does me no good.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
100.
They say. That is what they say. All right, on to the next. We have coming down I-95. Down to Philly. I didn't have the courage to pick them, but I still like them. Jacksonville. I know I took a shot at y'all earlier. That was about past life. No.
Boy, you copped your
This
deuce
guy missed
quick.
an extra point.
You copped your deuce quick, my man. You don't want that hate mail.
Don't get Duval on your bad side.
They say, hey.
I like Jacksonville. I do. I like the talent. Christian Kirk, that deal ain't looking so bad. That deal is not looking so bad.
No, he's balling. Shout to Jay. Shout to Jay Ness. He's always talked up. I got to give him credit. He's always talked up Christian Kirk. I know, but I'm just saying the fact of the matter is that he's proven so far. He's proven him right.
You want to hear something? You want to know a crazy fact? I have talked to DeAndre Ayton as much as his coach has. Fun fact for everybody.
There you go. There you go.
We on NFL and you just had to jump on NBA.
I ain't had nothing to do with what we was talking about. Just had to find a way to throw that in there.
What do y'all want from me?
But then why come since you talked to him, how come you ain't get him on here then?
Right.
My point is we ain't talked to him. How you ain't talk? How your head coach ain't talked to you since the game he benched you?
He said Monty said he ain't talked to a lot of the players, man.
Right, he's giving them space. He's giving them space.
Get out of here with that.
Oh, I'm with you, Ray. It's the cover up. It's the cover up. I'm pretty sure Monty talked to D-Book and CP3.
Yeah. So the number 3, you just whoops.
But hold on.
But I also
hold
think that's the
on.
reason why.
Let's remember though, he was a free agent. It wasn't sure if he was coming back. So
Yeah,
would you
that
talk to
is
him?
true, and that
You ain't
could be another reason why Jay Crowder don't want to come back.
And this is what I told y'all. He don't believe in him, or you send a text. Hey, glad to have you back. We're excited. Can't wait. Let's get in the
You
gym.
didn't do that for y'all. Didn't do that for Carson Wentz. Y'all ain't done no. Y'all ain't you ain't hit him up and say, "What's up, Carson, man?"
They weren't waiting for him at the airport.
Nah, they they flew him commercial too. They flew him Southwest.
Spirit.
No, what? Nobody from Washington there to pick him up. Nothing.
Right. My man caught an Uber to the hotel.
No, they didn't even give him an Uber. They just gave him a random guy picked him up.
We ain't have him on the subway or nothing crazy.
They was like, "Hey, you look like Carson Wentz."
Nah, he worth too much money for all that, but that's crazy. Y'all don't have to go there with me, but y'all know that's crazy. Ain't no way in the world.
We ain't falling to your shenanigans, Ray. NBA season ain't kicked in yet, Ray.
We are not supporting your narrative.
Signing of the off season.
We're not supporting your narrative. Keep it moving.
Woo! Y'all gonna just wait, y'all. Y'all don't want to give Ray Strawman his credit, but I keep telling y'all they don't want that back.
Christmas is coming.
Oh,
Christmas is coming.
He might not be playing by Christmas. They ain't talking. They can't put you in the game if I don't call your name.
Okay.
Gonna start calling him the player. The player.
Ray, we ain't falling into your shenanigans.
Ain't nobody giving you
we ain't falling into it, man.
I'll do bad all by myself then.
Exactly.
Right. We got a lot to get to it. It's already 10 o'clock. What'd you say, Kenny?
I just said exactly. You can do bad all by yourself.
All by myself. But who y'all got? Jacksonville, Philly. Go with Kenny.
Oh man, I think I'm going Philly. I think Philly has proven to be one of the top teams in the NFC. Jalen Hurts is right now one of the early MVP candidates. And I'm just not sure that Jacksonville can go on the road 2 weeks in a row and take two impressive road wins. I just think I'm not sure they're quite there yet. I think they are moving in the right direction. Again, credit to Doug Peterson. We could see the clear difference between last year and this year. So
yeah, he ain't dancing on no girl in the club.
There's been an obvious upgrade in the head coach office, but I think that the saying there's levels to it. So I just think they're not quite there yet to be able to make or to pull off two impressive road wins like this. But I do think they'll be competitive. But I just think Philly's going to wind up pulling it out late.
Okay, Dave, who you got?
I just like Philly. I just think Philly is a better team than Jacksonville right now. That's just plain and simple. Like disrespect to Jacksonville. Jacksonville don't send no hate mail to me. Just keep sending them to Ray. Just because he picked them down means you all let him off the hook. But I just think Philly the better team on both sides, offense and defense.
All right. I'm with y'all. I got Philly. I picked Philly. I'm real close to jumping off my bandwagon for the Super Bowl, but I'm gonna ride it out. But they've been
come on, jump off the bandwagon just like I did. It's okay.
Let me ask y'all a question though. Talking about Philly, who do you think has been more impressive as a quarterback, Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson?
I don't think you want to ask me that question.
Well, I already know your answer, Dev.
But Jalen Hurts is balling. Don't get me wrong, but Lamar is just.
Real quick, I do want to make this statement, and I want y'all to hear this here first. Almost all of that offense was there last year. Jalen Hurts was nowhere near nobody's MVP. They brought in one guy, and now Jalen Hurts is an MVP. That, to me, it should get more credit. And to me, it knocks Jalen Hurts off that conversation for me. Because Devontae was there last year. Sanders, they was all there. Goddard, same team for the most part on offense. Same coaching staff, same scheme, everything. They added one guy. And now it looked totally different. So that's where I think when you talk value, that to me is value. But I digress. Go ahead, Dave. I think I interrupted you.
I'm taking Lamar. He's checking all the boxes that everybody said he couldn't do. He's standing in the pocket. He's hitting these receivers, and the great thing about it is he's hitting receivers that nobody really banked on. Nobody really banked on Devin Duvernay catching these touchdown passes. Everybody just think that Duvernay is a special thing. And then for you to come back or have two 100-yard rushing as the quarterback, you had 79 rushing yards, and you had a 75 passing touchdown. No other quarterback did that. You pretty much showing. I believe if you take Jalen Hurts out and added another quarterback, something in Jalen Hurts' caliber, I think the Eagles will survive. We already seen if we take Lamar Jackson out the equation and we put Tyler Huntley back there, we did not survive last year. We were struggling. But I think A.J. Brown makes a big difference for Jalen Hurts. That's why I say that I believe that you can put another quarterback in there, and I think the Eagles' offense will still survive versus put another quarterback in the Ravens' offense. I don't think he would survive as too much.
Who's the backup in Philly?
I don't know. We want to Google that one.
All right, let me.
Is it still Gardner Minshew?
That sounds actually like it might be right.
Because I remember he was the backup last year.
But the fact that we don't know, I think, is what it was kind of the point I was trying to make. I just think Jalen's doing a lot. And it is Minshew, you were right. But just what Lamar has had to do, and then under the pressure that Lamar is under. Like, he's in the contract, betting on himself. Like, he lost his best receiver. I think he was relying on, Sammy Watkins they had out there. Somebody had out there that, like, he's just having to get it done at a much higher difficulty level. Worse options, run game's not what it used to be. So, yeah.
Our run game is non-existent right now. Wasn't for Lamar, man, we wouldn't be reaching over 100 yards rushing.
I do agree. So we all went Philly there, but I think it's going to be a heck of a game. And I would not be surprised if Jacksonville pulls that out.
Nah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be just like how we wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati beat Miami and get them that first loss. I wouldn't put it back. I wouldn't be mad if Jacksonville won. It's a game. Most definitely they probably need and want, in the early part of the season anyway.
Just to give our viewers a quick update, Tua has been transported to the hospital. So obviously he's out for the game.
Yeah, said head and neck injuries.
Yeah.
So
he's conscious.
Prayers up for him.
Brought to a local hospital. So obviously, praise for Tua. The next game, another one we just talked about. Lamar. A chance to distance himself from the competition. He's going head to head with the MVP favorite, Josh Allen. Fellas, Who you got? Bills, Ravens, Dev. Get
biased. I don't know why you even asked this question. I'm from what I've seen so far, man, I am riding the
This
Lamar
man has
shit.
never picked. It's never
I'm not picking
picked the
against my
Ravens.
boys right now. I don't
Never.
win, lose, or draw. I am not picking. It the Bills showed me that they can get beat. You know what I mean?
No objectivity whatsoever. This man is a
None.
diehard.
Yep. Hey Kenny, you can't stop. You can't start talking, Kenny, because just week one when Dak got hurt, you was like, "Oh, season over."
I was
But since
emotional.
that game,
That's right.
you was like, "Cooper
I
Rush."
was emotional. I owned up to it. So you just own up to you being a homer and you're objective, and you can't pick against your team.
But Dev, it's confusing because you're picking Baltimore here, but you picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl, and they're playing.
Yeah, they're gonna be playing. The Bills gonna click on it after this game. After this game, I get back to reality. Right now, I am on Utopia. I'm on Ravens Flat Utopia, and I don't see nothing but black and purple right now. So I ain't worried about Bills Mafia. I snap back. I hop on that bandwagon after this game. I had to get off the screen.
Everybody, I apologize for not doing this sooner. Dev is 4-12 on the year in this game. So,
in other words, you might not want to follow this man's picks based off his.
Hey.
Kenny, you are 7-9 at this
I made a
point.
comeback. I started off terrible. I had a good week last week.
Who you got in the game?
Man, most of them games last week was flukes, man. We had a lot of teams that everybody was like, yeah, but then next thing you know, it flipped on us. I thought definitely it flipped on me. Like the Colts and the Chiefs. Who would have thought?
Oh no, nobody saw that.
Who would have thought the Colts were going to pull that one out?
I'll give you that. But no, I got Buffalo, man. That Ravens defense is suspect. So
our secondary. Our secondary is trash.
And exactly, the fact of the matter is, you got a suspect secondary with Stephon Diggs and the crew coming to town. Nah, give me Buffalo.
I understand where you're coming from, Kenny. That is definitely understandable. Like it's tough, in the situation that they're in. But I agree with you. I like Lamar, but I think Buffalo's just better. And that defense, you saw what Noodle Arm Tua just did. Like,
what you call him?
Call him man Noodle Arm.
And that has nothing to
Hey yo, my man Tua had nothing to do with this conversation.
This man is at the hospital. You call him Noodle Arm? Come on, man.
I wasn't even gonna bother this man, but you just wasn't gonna let that one slip past me, Ray. You call that man Noodle Arm.
That man did that to y'all secondary. I'm inclined to believe with Gabe Davis back in another week getting healthy, Josh is gonna have some fun.
He ain't got no noodle. No, Josh ain't got noodle on.
Nah,
that's more of a howitzer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool. Next one. We talked about the AFC West. Is he here? No, he's not. And I am also here. So this division was supposed to be this amazing division coming into the year. And I had my doubts. I tried to educate Chris as such. But I did think it'd be more competitive than this. The game, nobody's been getting blown out. All their games have been competitive. The records and the gameplay just sucks. So we got two, in my opinion, disappointing teams. I know Denver, I believe, is 2-1, but I gotta tell you, it hasn't been what I think any of us thought it would be. And we got the Vegas Raiders, who I did pick to win that division, and they just can't figure out how to win games. That part of the equation, they just can't have it solved. And I guess Derek Carr thinks he's Aaron Rodgers because he's only throwing the ball to one person. Which is great. But there's some other good talent out there that could. There's a guy named Darren Waller that was pretty good.
It's pretty good. Last we checked.
Brentford, so not too bad.
Not too bad.
Their head coach,
I believe those two got up in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, that's correct.
Is not. He hasn't figured it out yet. So they got to get it together. But I'm going Raiders. I'm gonna go Raiders. I think. What the heck is you doing?
That's just a punt. Oh, you got lucky.
Fortunately, threw it out of bounds, but God,
man,
dog.
Eli Apple actually. Wow.
And you could have left that in bounds. Well, no, he did catch it, but you know,
I just didn't get that right foot in bounds.
Yeah, but you know,
otherwise that's a pick.
How you not drag the one closest? I don't know. That should be an easier one to get down, but you know, Eli's Eli. Good defensive play. 3rd and 15. So yeah, that's where I'm going with it. Derek Carr and figured it out. And for the love of God, Russell Wilson, please line up as a quarterback again. What the freak?
Yeah. For the love of God, please play quarterback. When was he playing the last couple of weeks?
No, man.
I don't know what he's been playing. Like, he might be in virtual reality or something. But it ain't quarterback. Football with. Because I don't know who's going to it.
For the love of God. My man must have been playing terrible out here.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. Dev, who you got?
It's one of them other games that's like, damn if I do, damn if I don't, man. I just think the Raiders can finally turn around and get that first win. Because I didn't expect them to be 0-3. I thought they would at least be 2-1, honestly. So I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I think they get back on track. I'm with you. I don't believe in Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos right now. I think Nathaniel Hackett has to go get coaching for dummies 1-on-1 book. Because
hit the button. You just threw a shot too.
Because he is just letting certain things. It's just like, dog, you don't know how to call it timeout. You don't know how to get your like. He was hoping that Aaron Rodgers was coming down there, so he didn't have to really coach that much. But you know what I mean. Now that he got Russell Wilson, he was like, "Dang, I gotta coach a little bit," and he ain't stepped up yet. So I don't believe in the Broncos. So I'm gonna give one more last shot to the Raiders. If they go 0-4, I'm getting off that train too.
Yeah. Kenny, what you got for us?
I'm going to go with the desperate team. I'm with Dev. The Raiders are desperate here. They got to win this game. Like you can't start the season 0-4, especially with all the expectations and all coming into the season. Everybody thought that this team was going to be so good. So you can't start the season 1-3. And then the other thing is, I already said I got my questions to another point, Devin Neal. I got my questions about Denver. Daniel Hackett looks like he's in over his head. I think he's still trying to be an offensive coordinator, and he's having problems being a head coach and trying to call plays. Like he's probably going to have to delegate the play calling to someone else so that he can manage to be the guy that's able to manage the entire game. So I got more questions I got questions about Denver, but I just think I'm going with the desperate team and the team that needs this win more than the other. And so I'm just picking the Raiders for that reason.
Okay. I'm good with it.
Sweet.
We got a lot of games the same. I don't know if I like that. At least not picking with Dev. He's strong.
Might be my week, man. This might be my week.
Turnaround.
This might be my turnaround. Normally, I don't start turning around until about week 4, week 5 anyway. So these early games is killing me.
Yeah, we've been together all but one game, Dev. So I guess you my son today, but that's okay.
Hey, man, why I gotta be your son? Why I couldn't be your step cousin or something in that nature or something in that?
I mean, it just is what it is. I don't make the rules, bro. I just follow.
Man, my Ravens is better than the Commodores. So you should be my son.
Quarterback better. Let's swap quarterbacks and see who better.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair. I don't want Carson Wentz. I don't want no Carson Wentz.
Neither do I. We have another one, KC at Tampa. We got Pat Mahomes' wife. She be wilding on the ground. And Giselle just be gone these days.
He said his wife?
Yeah. Tom like Giselle phone home. Yeah.
Please, baby. Please, baby.
Please. Oh, man.
Phone home.
Tough sledding. He had to duck a hurricane, and the hurricane he had to duck was easier than He was like, ooh, nice breeze on the way.
Hurricane season all summer, huh? That's what you said.
All summer.
Oh,
all
goodness.
Summer. And the hurricane was still there. It's crazy how that works.
Leave that man be.
You don't have the hurricanes named after women for a reason. Oh, man. But this is tough for me. This is tough. We
know it's tough. We know it's tough to you.
We know exactly why it's tough.
Whew. He gets Mike back, so thank God for that. Cause man, he was out there.
That's my quarterback.
As your boy would say, have the courage of your convictions.
Yeah, he was out there with Sierra Canyon receivers last week. So hopefully, with Mike Evans coming back, that'll give him a little bit of boost. But
that's a whole.
I cannot tell a lie. I think they're in trouble. I think Pat Mahomes has something to prove. He knows it's probably the last shot he's going to get at Brady, and I think it just means the game means more. I think Tampa can win their division with or without this game. I think Kansas City has a chance to really seize their division by winning this game. So I think the pressure's on. I think they'll be ready to go, and I got Kansas City. Kenny, who you got?
Man, this is hard. I want to pick Kansas City, but then this is one of those games where Tom Brady tends to, step up to the challenge, and then we hear this is why he's the GOAT and blah, blah, blah. And,
Put some respect on Tom Brady. It ain't no blah, blah, blah.
You knew he was coming. I don't know why you said that blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Let me say it. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Dang.
That's it. Just say it right. That's all. Just put a little respect and a little R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Just a little bit. That's all.
Yeah. I think he's gonna turn back the clock and get getting Michael Evans back and having a bona fide number one that'll kind of unlock the offense a little more. And I'll pick Tampa to pull this one out. I think it's going to be a really close game. I'm really looking forward to this game. I think this is going to be a real battle. But I'm picking Tampa Bay.
It's a Sunday night game too, which is pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So
did they move that game, or that game still
it's in Tampa.
Gonna be down in? It's in Tampa. Okay.
It's in Tampa. And Dan, who you got?
Who did you pick, Ray?
Chiefs.
I don't want to be your son again, man. So I think I might have to go against the Connie.
I understand.
Oh, he ain't gonna keep sunning me.
Just know I'm not, just a stepdad. I'm the dad that stepped up. Because Kenny was your first dad, so you can spend some time over there.
That's a good one. I heard that one before.
It seems like Kenny owe me some child support. Then.
Man, listen.
That's what it seems like. He put you in that predicament, Kenny, man. Where my child support at, Doug?
Nah, I ain't got
What you mean, no, nah? Man, no man to get courts in
I
this.
ain't seen no DNA. I ain't seen no DNA.
So that does bring us to the end of the road here. We got NFC West, Rams, 49ers, Jimmy G did what Jimmy G does and come up small in a big moment.
Honestly, what'd he do? Would he be Dan Orlovsky Jr.?
It's just some you can't change the stripes. That's why you wanted to trade him. For that exact reason.
Hey, and y'all almost had him. If he ain't go through that shoulder surgery, he would have been a commander.
I sit here today.
You'd be singing that same song too.
It wouldn't have been. I don't think we wouldn't net
You'd be
anything.
singing that same sad song about you still looking for a quarterback.
Yes, we would be. But yeah. Last game, we have the Rams and 49ers, and I am going to go with Matt Stafford because I would not bet on Jimmy Garoppolo under any circumstance that I can think of. So, yeah, Rams for me. Dad, what you got?
I'm going to be your son on this one, Doug. I'm picking the Rams. I'm not picking the guy that don't know his way around the field.
Yeah, we're all on the same page on that one. It's Rams.
Got it. So we will keep it moving here. We talked about the AFC West earlier, and obviously the Raiders are 0-3. Justin Herbert's got beat up a little bit. He's been walking around like a couple of broken ribs, and they haven't got it done. We talked about it to start the year. A lot of arm talent, but at some point the Chargers got to put it together. I obviously thought they would. So far, they haven't. Who would you say is in more danger right now? The Chargers or the Raiders? And I'll start with you, Kenny.
I think it's the Raiders because while you could probably chalk it more up to the latest struggles of the Chargers to Herbert's injury, whereas you've had 3 games of the Raiders where you just haven't seen them getting the job done for 3 games and losing close games, and so I think there's more questions there, and you got the same about Josh McDaniel. You start wondering, is this guy just not head coach material? Because now we're going to start. This is his second opportunity, and we're seeing him struggle here in his second opportunity. So I think it's more the Raiders than it is to the Chargers, because a case could be made that it's more so injuries that's caused them to take a step back than anything else.
That's fair. I definitely agree. I agree and I disagree. And here's why I'm going to disagree. You can move on pretty easy here from Derek Carr if you don't think he's the answer. If you say, hey, Derek, we gave you your guy, We gave you all the talent in the world on offense. We're a quarterback away, and you're not it. I think if you're the Chargers, you got a young, super talented quarterback that hasn't proven he can win games that you got to pay very, very soon. And if they go 17 games? So they go 9-8. What do you do? Like, he's banged up this year. He's had talent out. Keenan Allen's missed 2 games, but Keenan Allen misses games. That's what Keenan Allen does.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, Austin Eckler, they can't run the ball. Am I giving them $300 million? And if Lamar does happen to sign first, am I resetting the market if Lamar goes first? And if I'm the Chargers, depending on Lamar resetting the market, do I want to go that high? So I think it's a stalemate between him and I think Burrow, who going to get paid first.
Mm-hmm.
But one guy got a Super Bowl appearance. One guy I don't think has a playoff win. Or I think they did go.
Hasn't even made the playoffs.
He ain't made the playoffs yet.
Yeah, hasn't made the playoffs.
So I think it's this year is critical for Justin Herbert because there's nothing else you can ask for.
Yeah, no, that's no excuse.
Y'all spend all the money on defense. You got the offensive weapons. So for me, I think it's bigger on the Chargers. I think you can potentially try and plug and play, maybe even make the Aaron Rodgers trade. If they don't believe in Jordan Love, maybe go get Aaron next year. Let him finish his last year of his deal in Vegas with his boy. And you make a run for it. So I just think that it's more paramount for the Chargers at this point because they have some decisions to make. And oh man, Joe, you just underthrew him. He had beat him deep,
big time.
Josh Allen makes that throw, but I digress. So Dev, did we get from you? Who you got more danger, Raiders or Chargers?
I think the Raiders. There's been more danger because y'all said Derek Carr has been their, I guess you can say their franchise quarterback or trying to be their franchise quarterback for the last couple of years. They always keep saying, oh, if Derek Carr had this and if Derek Carr can get this and all this other stuff. Now they gave him a number 1 wide receiver. He has a number one tight end. He has a decent slot wide receiver, and the Raiders defense is not bad. This was the same team you made it to the playoffs with last year, other than the addition of Devontae Adams. So we would expect that offense would take that next step. And so far it looks like the Raiders not even trying to get on a step at all. It just seems like Derek Carr is trying to force it to Devontae Adams way too much, not looking for Wilder. So now you're making your offense more stagnant. And just like y'all were just saying, now if Derek Carr is not your guy, now you pretty much gonna have to take a step back and figure out who can be the guy that can come in here with Devontae Adams and Wilder and Winfrey. You know what I mean? So it's like Derek Carr has the key pieces.
You need.
He has, and the Raiders defense is not bad. It's not like the Ravens. They can put you out of a game. They got good pass edge rushers with Chandler Jones and Nassib. They got a good safety in what's the name? Abram. And their DBs is not bad either. So it's like Raiders has that piece. It's just like their quarterback, like previous years, is holding them back. So I think if Derek Carr can't get this questions answered, this is really going to set the Raiders back on the quarterback market now. Do you go in the draft, or like y'all said, do you try to go trade for Aaron Rodgers now and try to link up with his boy again? But we thought Derek Carr was Devontae Adams' boy because they was roommates in college. So Could it be
And
Josh McDaniel's system?
Just for clarity, I will trade Carson Wentz for Derek Carr today.
No way. I'm shocked.
I know he's. I know they're 0-3.
Wow.
Carson is
What
1-2.
a fair deal that is.
I would be willing to take Derek Carr off their hands if they're so inclined.
Yeah. Really have to twist
Derek
your
Carr,
arm
not
on
a bad
that
quarterback. I take Derek Carr over Carson Wentz.
Okay.
one. You and everyone else in America.
So we'll keep that moving.
Can you need to let that slide, buddy?
I don't know who these people are. These fighters. These are two women. That's interesting.
Is that
Prime
MMA?
It looked like UFC something.
Mm.
That was interesting.
Man, Prime is really stepping. They're leaning into sports heavy this year.
That is true indeed, and it's being shown right in front of us. But that leads us to the best. Who do you have as the best team in the NFC? Who do you have as the best team in the AFC? We'll start with you, Dev.
NFC right now is the Eagles, hands down. They still undefeated in the NFC. It shows that key piece to AJ Brown coming over there from Tennessee is a big key addition for Jalen Hurts. It's working out for him already, and it's also opening up some possessions for Devontae Smith also. So I think the Eagles is holding down in the NFC. As far as AFC, I was rooting for the Bills for a minute, but Miami kind of knocked them off. But I still think the Bills are still the best team in the AFC. They're still a complete team. I don't think one loss is really going to define them. I actually think that's going to build them and make them actually tough. I understand I picked the Ravens this week, but this is going to be a tough match. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Allen come out here and do the same thing Tua did to us on that secondary, that defense. But like I said, I think the Bills is still the complete team and the best team in the AFC.
Okay. Kenny, who you got?
Yeah, Dev kind of stole my thunder. I'm still with the Bills in AFC. I think they more lost that game than Miami won it. That makes sense. I think they had every opportunity to pull that game out. Oh, go get it. But yeah,
Tua can't make that throw.
Now we're talking about Teddy Two Gloves.
Why he can't make that throw, Ray?
Noodle.
That's all I want. That's all I always want to be an instigator on that.
Yeah, always ready to gas it. Just throwing the alley-oop. Just call him Gary Payton. Jason Kidd. You out here throwing alley-oops.
Yeah, I'm throwing off the bat, boy. Ray got it. My man Ray is like half man, half amazing when it comes to these shots fired, boy.
Sean Kemp, Vince Carter, DeAndre Jordan, you name it.
No, but
I'm still with Buffalo. Like I said, I think they more lost that game than Miami won it. And in Philly right now, you got to give it to them. They have been the most impressive team in the NFL these first 4 weeks of the season. So you got to right now, and again, but this is of course way too early. We still got a long way to go. But these are the two teams I think that are most complete and most talented, and have the deepest rosters from top to bottom. So it's definitely I'm with Davis, Buffalo, and Philly.
Who's the son, man?
I am going to agree on Philly. Philly is definitely the best team I've seen in the NFC. Granted, I haven't really seen them against the stoutest of competition thus far. You can't take a sack, Teddy. What you gonna do, Teddy? Ooh, and the
That's a good stop.
Bengals defense holds.
That's a good hold. Yeah. Good
Bengals
hold.
defense holds. But in the AFC, I'm going Patty. I think they're the best team. I think Buffalo.
You said who?
The Kansas City. I think Buffalo's inability to run the ball could potentially cause a problem.
That's fair.
And Josh Allen takes some shots. He runs the ball a lot. And he's a big dude. He ain't Tua, and I ain't going to go down that path again. But
we saw what happened.
He ain't had to go down that path. He was already down there.
Right. We saw what happened to Cam Newton. Doing all of that running, taking all that punishment.
Hey,
catches up to you.
Taysom Hill ain't touching the ball like he used to.
Exactly.
It's just
catches
it's
up
not
to
built for it.
Taysom Hill, what he a tight end now, ain't
he? They got him off the ball, all the split carries and all that other stuff. Jameis ain't been playing well, so it ain't like he couldn't have been getting some run in that option offense or whatever they were running. But I just think Kansas City's the more complete team. I trust that coaching staff more at this point. We're gonna see. But I think Buffalo is right there. They just gotta come together a little bit more. And I would love to see them get a running game established. Because Josh Allen leading your team in rushing is not a recipe for success long term. So we'll go here. Since we kind of just did that, we'll go here. I don't know but y'all do know. All y'all play fantasy. And if you look at the fantasy landscape, fantasy football that is, the running back position has been a little hard to call. I'm in a group chat. Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, and Jonathan Taylor, people's names is thrown around for trade bait because of the lack of productivity. Najee Harris went real early in fantasy. Haven't really seen the dominant performance there. Dalvin Cook is now hurt. My question is, who do you guys have as your top 3 running backs currently in the NFL? I'll start with you, Dan.
Derrick Henry's still my number 1 running back right now, but it's coming to very close. Nick Chubb is like right behind. I most definitely like Nick Chubb. His aggressive style, hard to take him down. Don't go down off of the first hit. And do you see how much this guy can squat, man? This is like that man's legs is just like stupid strong. So, Nick Chubb is most definitely is coming to be number 1. But he's falling number 2 and number 3. I'm gonna go with Jonathan Taylor. I like his style of running. I wish the Colts would kind of use him a little bit more. Trying to find a better scheme for him also. But I'll go with Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, and Jonathan Taylor is my top 3 running back.
Okay. I'm gonna go a little different. I do have Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is my 1 right now. I think he's the best overall back I've seen currently in football. I'm also going to go with Jonathan Taylor. I like the way he runs the ball. I think his overall game is there. And my 3rd is currently playing. I got Joe Mixon ahead of Derrick Henry. I think he's a more versatile back. I think he doesn't take as long to get going. Derrick Henry's great once he gets going downhill, but I see him get stopped in the back for way too many times because his legs don't get going.
The only thing I got to beef about Joe Mixon, it's not Joe Mixon, it's Cincinnati. It's like you'll use Joe Mixon in the first half, but when it comes to like the second half, you start seeing less and less of Joe Mixon.
I mean, I agree. Tyler Boyd was right back with Jamar Chase for a first down on 3rd down. You know, you got to do whatever you got to do to get it done. So those are my three.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny, who you got?
It's hard for me not to put Derrick Henry top three. I think the problem is he just doesn't have enough help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of the offensive talent on the outside, they ran out of town for whatever reason, and that's just. I mean, they have. I don't know. You know, didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Running Derrick Henry too much. That's why they ran him out of town.
It's affected his productivity as a result. So, you're basically daring Ryan Tannehill to beat you because you're going to stack the box and make Ryan Tannehill beat you. That's going to be the recipe to win against Tennessee. So, but when he's rolling, man, you got to make it's a lot of business decisions being made when that man starts rolling downhill. Nobody don't want that smoke, man, because that's a big dude. But I'm gonna put him at 3. I'm gonna still put him at 3 because when he's that guy, he's that guy. Number 2, I'm actually surprised you guys. I'm actually throw another name in the hat.
What you gonna throw Ezekiel Elliott in there?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna throw Saquon Barkley in there. I'm gonna give Saquon Barkley some love. I'm gonna give him some love. Because we know
your wife holding a gun up to you.
We know the talent. No, she didn't watch the games half the time, but that's neither here nor there. His talent level, his skill set, and his ability when healthy, like we're seeing the old Saquon. We're seeing early in this season the Saquon Barkley that was the number 2 pick in the draft. You know, of course, it's always the question mark is can he stay healthy? But going off of what we're seeing right now in these first, we seeing that guy Saquon Barkley. So I'm gonna give him some props and put him at 2. And I got Nick Chubb number 1. He's the most consistent. The most in terms of being able to run and catch it out of the backfield, power, speed, all of that stuff. He has the full complete package. I think that with Jonathan Taylor, I'm just not I think that Mike Ryan is washed. So I think that's affecting his productivity as well. So so that's my pick. Those are my 3.
How in the world do you have Saquon Barkley ahead of Christian McCaffrey?
Because both of them can't stay healthy.
So then how do you have Saquon ahead
of him? So
him?
I'm saying to me, just off of this season, I think he's been more productive. This season alone. We're talking about this first 3 or 4 weeks of this season.
Yeah, we're the top 3. Okay. You heard it first. Kenny has Saquon.
I'm gonna use the Stephen A. Smith. It's fluid. The list is fluid.
Cool. So speaking of fluid and changes, the NFL has decided to finally blow the brains out of the Pro Bowl. They've put it out last year. They've put us in
enough is enough. Yeah.
But the real question is, do you think people are going to tune in? Do you think this is what people want?
No, people don't know what they want. You don't miss something until it's really gone. You know what I mean? I guarantee you, if this flag football, this skill challenge does not work out, everybody's going to be calling for that Pro Bowl back. But I, for one, I am not going to miss it. I'll take the flag football games because that's what the damn Pro Bowl had turned into anyway. It was flag football with helmets on. So you might as well just go ahead and just pull the damn flags now. Right. So I'm all for it. I hope this. Now, the only thing about this flag thing, I hope we can actually see some skills because some players kind of hold up on these skills. You don't want to pull a hamstring trying to outrun somebody on the flag football tip, and especially if it's your contract season and all that other good stuff. So I'm dying to see if the skill challenge is going to get taken seriously. If it gets taken serious, then maybe Pro Bowl get rid of the Pro Bowl was the best thing. Honestly, I am happy. And it's now in the NBA. Just need to get rid of the dunk contest. And we all squared away.
Yeah. All right. I hear you on that. Kenny, your thoughts?
Yeah, I stopped watching the Pro Bowl years ago. So it's a good thing for me. I don't even think the flag football is going to be a much better. I think they should just stick to the skills competitions and call it a day. Because again, like, we watch football for the physicality, and if you're not going to have that physicality element in the game, then it's not really worth watching. So I just think they need to stick to the skills challenges and just leave it at that. I'm not watching no flag football.
I'm with you on
guys
that.
chasing that other people, man.
Nah.
I think we just saw, and I forget who said it. They need to ban like turf from like the football or something. I forget who said it. I can try and look for it, but I just the flag football thing I think is risky. I think there's a high risk of injury, and
Hamstring.
I just don't know if I like the flag football. The skills competition, that's fun. Couple throwing things, maybe some sprints. You pull a hamstring, that'll heal before the season starts. But a bunch of cutting and stuff types of drills, like combine kind of thing, I don't want my Pro Bowl player doing that when they probably, been in Vegas or somewhere partying, having a good time. They ain't really stretched. They ain't really take the necessary precautions. I just would have some pause for that part, but I think it's cool. I think they can do some fun stuff around it. There's some interactive aspects, I'm sure, from a technology standpoint. They stuffed
Big
it.
stop by the Bengals on the goal line.
Decision. Coach. What do? You're down 1 at the 1.
I think I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
You've been stopped running the ball 3 straight plays. There, what you got?
I'm taking the field. I'm taking points right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the points because it's showing that we can get up. It's showing that we can get up and down Miami on defense.
They took the points. They listen to you, Dad. They taking the points.
As someone who owns McPherson in fantasy, I'm glad he kicked that.
You were just saying womp. Right. Ray, you is special, man.
I wouldn't do that. I think you got them backed up on the 1. You're playing against Teddy Two Gloves, as Kenny calls him. I'm going for it. If we want to get back to the Super Bowl, if we consider ourselves Super Bowl contenders, you got to go get that yard. At home, you got to go get that yard. And if you can't, then you don't deserve it.
They got these new uniforms on. They got to go get it, huh?
They got these white uniforms on now, and they're playing soft.
Oh.
Ooh.
Playing scared. Playing not to lose. You're not playing to win the game.
Saying they're wearing nursing uniforms? They got the white.
I'm saying.
They said they scared the orange up off of them.
If Vontaze Burfict was on that defense, they running the ball on 4th down.
Yes, you might as well throw Corey Dillon back there too, huh?
Listen, I just talked up Joe Money Mixon. Put the ball in his hands and stop running it right up the gut. Use some kind of creativity, get some kind of motion or something. Goodness gracious, these young coaches. Cool. So we got that. More fluidity, more changes of brew. We're going to go across the lines to the NBA.
That's what you've been waiting for.
Yes, I am super excited. I cannot wait. I got my bought 2K, the Michael Jordan edition, so I got the league pass included. Just got that email set up, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Well, we already know what he's doing all weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been had 2K. I've had it for a while. I beat the storyline basically, but that's not important. But for those of you who don't know, they drastically reduced League Pass. It is now only $100 for the whole year. So it's the same exact package. You just get. It's just a lot cheaper. It's like it was like $250 last year, and they dropped it all the way down to $100. So go get that, fans, people. If you don't have. But lowering the draft age back to 18, is it the right decision and why? Coach, I'll start with you.
I think I would say yes. I think the whole one and done thing is kind of, ran its course. And I think now this is more of a response to these other alternatives that are starting to rise up, even within the G League with the G League Ignite, and then you got Overtime Elite, and these things are starting to rise up that are pulling the high school students into these paid opportunities. So I think the NBA kind of saw this writing on the wall and said that this they want to get these guys into the league now, as opposed to doing these other developments or doing these other, minor or other opportunities. So I just think they see that they see that the whole one and done thing is now kind of run its course, and people are not, the young players are getting to the money early, and so they're not going to miss out on it anymore. So I think I think it's more so that than it maybe, the LeBron effect, or, what people thinking is having to do with LeBron James.
So I'll respond to that. You said you think it kind of run its course. Are you saying that 18-year-olds don't want to go play basketball, or what do you mean?
No, I think that they're getting to the money earlier. Now, of course, now with the NILs, it's kind of changed the game a little bit, whereas players can go to college and monetize while in college. But now it's these guys are starting to do it in high school. They're monetizing in high school now. You got 11 and 12th graders now, getting 6-figure deals, and you know what I'm saying? So I think that they see the writing on the wall that they can't hold these guys back, or saying that college and making them go to college for a year is not going to, because they're getting the money now in college. So I just think that they see that this amateurism thing is now a thing in the past, and so they want a piece of the pie.
Just quick update. The Bengals respond with a big stop on 3rd and inches, and Miami is punting down to Cincinnati. So I guess my follow-up to you, Kenny, on that would be, so if you're the NCAA, how do you feel about the NBA making this decision? Because this is an NBA decision, not an NCAA, right? This is NBA.
Yeah,
so now that the NIL has now passed, and now that you've kind of acclimated, for the NBA to turn around and say, "Oh yeah, 18-year-old, you don't have to go there now." How do you feel if you're the NCAA?
I don't think that you feel any type of way, because again, with the NIL, you're still gonna have that opportunity for kids to be able to come to college and still be able to make money. So, and you got with some of these NIL deals where they're getting 6 and 7 figures on the football side. So I'm sure at the powerhouses, the Kentuckys of the world, the North Carolinas, the blue bloods, as they say, I'm sure at these NIL deals, these kids could get a real nice bag. So I don't think that they're going to necessarily.
NFL is not the competition. We're talking about the NBA.
I know, but I'm saying, but my point is that with the NIL deals is that they can still go to college and make money. It's just a matter of whether or not they will.
If
Why
I'm
would
if
they?
I'm the high school basketball player that can get good NIL money, I can probably go pro. No?
Yeah, but the difference between being a lottery pick and going to college and getting an NIL deal of five, of six figures, when you may be a fringe guy. Like I could go to the University of Kentucky and because those guys get treated like pros do. That's the only thing in town. Kentucky guys get treated like pros. So I could go there and be a fifth or a fourth of a third or fourth score or third or fifth, third or fourth wheel and make six figures. You know what I mean? So it's more so for the guys that are not the cream of the crop that college would be for. And they can still get money.
Got you. Dale, what you think?
I think it's a cool thing. I think the NCAA is just late to the party. You should have been started paying these kids, years ago. That way you can keep their, interest in coming to college and stuff like that. You got the kids like how Zion was, they just do the 1 year deal 1 year in college just to make a name. Well, they already had made a name for themselves, so it was just about now they wanted the money to match up with their name. And now that the NBA has pretty much lowered, it's just NCAA, you just late to the party. You should have did this years ago when the NBA was going back and forth with this age, because one year they was letting 18-year-olds in, then the next year they had stopped letting the 18-year-olds in. So, far as I think some kids that don't get the NIL money, those deals, stuff like that, will go to college. It's still some kids that's looking to still go to college 4 years, not looking to do the 1 year, one and done. So you can still, NCAA is still not losing. You just won't have like the big talent maybe. All the guys that's going viral now, you might just don't have the first shot at them because now they can go pro. And like I said, you should have just came to the party a little bit earlier, paying these kids, some type of money, and maybe they would have loved going to college first before they jump into the pro.
So I agree and I disagree. And I'm going to say I disagree on. I think the NCAA. I agree with you, Dev, was late, but I think they're upset because now when the next Zion comes out, yeah, he could take the NIL deal, but he's probably going to go pro. When the next LeBron, the next potential, not even guaranteed, that crop that's been going to the NCAA, the Amani Bates, and he hasn't really worked out, but those types of players that didn't want to go overseas or didn't want to go G League, now it's why would I go to college? I'm going to go get with pro trainers for that group. Now, to Kenny's point, that fourth and fifth person on the bench, yeah, NIL is still great for them. But I think the people that would actually look to go straight to the pros, I think this will be a shot for the NCAA, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind too that any of these guys that's going straight to the pros, then we're talking about lottery picks. So they're going to, more likely than not, be lottery picks, and that's only 14 guys.
But what's the chances?
And that's assuming, not counting the college guys. So it's only going to be a handful of guys that you're going to see wind up doing this, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably the NCAA probably going to get that top 5 recruiting class. You know what I mean? It's probably going to be hard to get them because they probably already went viral and because because like I said, we be watching these kids since middle school, playing in these AAU tournaments and stuff like that. So you be thinking that they are older than what they really are, but in all nationality, these kids are like 8 years old and stuff like that. So, like I'm with you on that one, Ray. NCAA most definitely gonna lose them top 5 people, them top 5 recruits. No matter what college they can be Kentucky, Duke, UNC, all those top colleges. You gonna have to kind of suck it up and say it's NCAA fault. Point blank period. You know what I mean? It's just like no other way to look at it for real.
No, we can agree on that. Last thing before we get out of here, as Cincinnati hits a 57-yarder.
They said it would have been good from 64. Wow.
Oh wow.
That's a cool graphic there. I never saw that. That's pretty cool.
Amazon.
Yeah.
That's what
Old Bezos, man.
he know a little something. But we are like 3 weeks out from the regular season, and free agency still hasn't really picked up. I think the way we thought it would after the KD, Kyrie, Russ situations kind of got resolved. So I guess my question for you guys is, why do you think that is, or what do you think is still the holdup? And what would you say has been one of the bigger signings you've seen so far this offseason? I'll start with you, Dave.
Signage. Biggest signage I can kind of say.
DeAndre Ayton's fault.
You can go ahead hot on that one as much as you want.
Remixing the questions.
You know what I mean? I still want to go with Malcolm Brogdon to the Celtics. I think that's a big signing for them. They most definitely going to need all the help they can get right now since Boston is going to be down there head coach. So I think with all that, with Michael Brogdon and Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and the rest of their firepower that they have, I think Boston has the best signing because they needed that point guard. Now, only thing a question about Brogdon is his health. If he can stay healthy at least majority of the season, then the Celtics won that deal. But if he don't, then Celtics would be back in the same pool that they was in last year without a point guard. What was the second part of the question? Why it didn't pick up yet, or something like that, right?
Why do you think
I don't think
so many veterans are still available?
I think certain players are still available because this offseason was pretty much the KD offseason. A lot of teams was kind of baking on figuring out what was KD going to be at what was going to take to get to KD. And a lot of teams held off on some players that's still out here in the free agent. I think they're gonna get signed. Like I don't. Is DeMarcus Cousins signed? Is he going back to Denver? No,
he's still out there.
I'm pretty sure like if DeMarcus Cousins is gonna get signed soon. I just don't know by who yet. Because we don't know who needs a big man at this point in the season yet. So he's most definitely. I'm surprised that nobody's not willing to give him a chance. Because I think DeMarcus Cousins is still a decent, solid big man. What you think, Ray? Is he better than Aiden? Come on.
Nah, I won't go that far.
You ain't gonna go that far? Hey, this is the first alley oop I tried to throw you. And you just came back down with the rebound.
Yeah,
what?
Because you just talking crazy. Most of us got to lose on.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I got a guy. And yeah, I was just checking. Cousins is still not signed.
He not signed.
There's still a couple guys out here. It's not as
bad. There's a couple of guys.
No, it's some nice pieces still out there.
Melo still not signed yet.
No.
I just
Jeremy
think
Lamb is a nice piece that could help somebody.
Yeah, Avery Bradley still out there.
Hassan Whiteside is a big.
I don't think Hassan Whiteside is a good key addition, man. He
what?
As a backup,
he better. He better than who?
He better than Andre.
You know who? Now he a goofball. But on talent, when he ain't goofing around, whoo, that boy can ball. It remind me of Bobby Porter's ball.
Great. I ain't even going. I'm not even going to get in the middle of this one. Just let that one go.
Just gonna
let that one go.
Say you ain't say that.
Oh my goodness. Hassan Whiteside is better than DeAndre Ayton. A guy who got a max deal versus the guy who can't even find a team.
I told you I wouldn't have paid him.
A guy who I believe still will be able to find a team versus the guy who ain't
back there and doing
dancing.
Pirouette, spinorama, first down. And you know this, Teddy. But okay, you are certainly entitled to that opinion. Kenny, what you got?
No, I just think that I think you got a couple of pieces, like I said, that are out there that can help some people. I was a Jeremy Lamb fan in college. He's unfortunately has some. Huh?
So I thought it was gonna be something out of UConn.
Yeah. I really like this game. You know, he's had some injury issues, so I think that's affected him a lot. But I think he can help a team. I still think that Hassan Whiteside could help a team. I still think that DeMarcus Cousins could help a team. So I don't think that. I think it's gonna be one of those things where we still got to wait and see. I think around Christmas time we could see some veterans perhaps finding a home somewhere. And then you also got to see what happens with these training camp cuts, because it may be something that happens at the end of training camp where a cut happens and they bring in a veteran or something like that. So you never know. But I think that's with these guys, a lot of them, I think it's where you got question marks. Whether it's Blake Griffin, whether it's LaMarcus Aldridge, all these guys got question marks. Hassan Whiteside, Jeremy Lamb, DeMarcus Cousins,
Blake Griffin.
Yeah, I said him.
Okay.
I think it's all those guys where you got questions whether or not how productive they could be, because any of these guys that you're bringing them in to play a role, and so I think that there's questions because these guys have all been productive guys in their careers, whether they can make that transition. To your point, Devin, about like a Carmelo Anthony did, to be able to make that transition, to be able to be, a guy that could come in off the bench and be productive. So I think that's kind of why you haven't seen guys like these getting picked up or getting signed. So, but I think we got to stay tuned though, because I think they will. Some of them will wind up getting picked up as the season goes on.
Okay. We will definitely, and I definitely agree with that. So I'll just ask you, Kenny, who do you have getting picked up first? You got Melo or Blake Griffin?
Actually, I think it's Hassan Whiteside. I think out of all of the guys, because he's 31, 32,
I don't know why
31 or 33.
Yeah, I think he's like 33, 32, 33.
Yeah, I think he can. He was productive for Utah coming off the bench. Like he was, and even in Portland, he was solid coming off the bench. Teddy Two Gloves just threw a pick.
Oh,
Teddy. It might be the game. That might be the game.
I haven't won a Thursday night pick yet. and it's just still getting sour for me, man.
Oh, it's still light. It's still. So you're saying there's a chance for Tua. It ain't over yet. I think it's Hassan Whiteside that gets picked up, because that's one thing you can always, especially even a team like Brooklyn, like they could.
Oh, I don't know.
Did he drop that?
It looked like it touched the ground. I don't know. It looked like it's recording studio with mitts.
Yeah, I got it. Well, they're gonna replay. Don't they review? turnovers? I thought they reviewed turnovers.
I thought you supposed to review turnovers.
Yeah. Unless they did already. That was quick. But yeah, I think Brooklyn could be a nice destination for Hassan Whiteside because they could definitely use another big coming off the bench because Claxton and then the other young guy, Sharp, those guys are kind of unproven. So to have a guy like Hassan Whiteside, I would definitely look out for him. I think he's going to be the first one, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brooklyn is the destination.
And just didn't really want to end on a somber note. ESPN is reporting Gavin Escobar, 31.
Yeah, I saw that.
And an apparent rock climbing accident. Some prayers to his family, obviously.
Yeah.
Prayers to the people in Florida. I didn't necessarily want to start the show there, but since we're kind of on more of a somber note, I did want to say our prayers from ASAP are with y'all. South Carolina, I believe y'all are kind of next in the path. We'll see. Yeah. We're supposed to get some rain up this way a little later, but nothing too crazy. But obviously, most people have seen the pics and videos. It's going to take some time to kind of get some of those areas back together. Jamar Chase ball game.
He had been quiet. But now we're hearing from him.
Rock them to sleep. Baby. But yeah, everybody enjoy the rest of the game. Fellas, it's been a pleasure. For my sake, Dev, improve your pick record. You gotta find this so don't drag us down. Sometimes kids will be a downfall. So hopefully,
this guy even going out. He going out shooting. Come in shooting. That's cool. And going out shooting.
He got the right to shoot. You know what I mean? Like I said, I haven't won a Thursday night game.
I got your back.
I haven't won a Thursday night game. So once my record gets better this week, I don't want to hear none of that.
We need that rapper to spit them bars for us. Let's go.
Let's go. Well, y'all, everybody have a great night. Stay safe, enjoy, stay warm. And until next week, we out.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up.